Hey there, I'm Divya from Chalkboard Academy. This is class 10 mathematics series, and in this lecture we will be discussing polynomials, that is chapter 2 of class 10th. So let's start. So before starting, let's have a quick sneak peek of what we are going to discuss in this chapter. So the very first topic here is polynomials itself. So we will understand what are polynomials and what are the types of polynomials here. And then the coefficient of polynomials, that is the number present here along with the variables in the polynomials. And then we will discuss about the zeros, that is the values of variables discussed in these polynomials, and then the relationship between these numbers and the zeros of the polynomials. So for both quadratic equation, and thereafter we will discuss the same for the cubic equation. Along with that, we will be discussing the division algorithm of the polynomials. Here we will know how to divide the polynomials, just like how we used to divide the numbers when we were kids. So let's start. So the very first thing here is the polynomials. So polynomials has three components. First one is constants, then variables, and then power. So the constant, that is the numbers, like positive, negative number, or in decimals, any number. And thereafter any real number here we can use for polynomials. And thereafter we have variables like x, y, z, a, b, c, etc. And then we have powers or degree. Degree, when we are talking about the highest power in the equation, and power for one term. So here we can use any power like 0, 1, 2, and so on. So let's have some example first, then we will understand further. So like we have this 2x square plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Here in this we can see that the highest power is 2. So the degree of this equation is 2. But we can see here x has power, and that is 1. And then here also x was there, but it has the power 0. So we do not get here x. So we can say the highest power of any equation is called the degree. So the degree for this equation is 2. And the variable here used is x, and the numbers which we are talking about, that is the constants which are not changing. Here are 2, then 3, and then minus 2. Moving forward, based on the degree, we have three types of polynomials. First one is linear equation. Linear, the highest power here is 1. So the degree is 1. So you can see in this example here, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. Here we are taking two variables, that is x and y, but it has only one degree in each case. Like x has 1, y has 1. So the linear equations are the equation in which the highest degree is 1. Then we have the quadratic equation. Here we see the degree is 2, that is the highest power here is 2. So in this equation you can see that 5x square plus 3x is equal to 2x. Here we can see there are two terms with x, like 2x and 5x square, but the highest power here is 2. So this is quadratic equation. Then we have cubic equations. Here the highest power is 3. So in this equation we have three terms like x cube minus 2x square plus 3 is equal to 0. But the highest power here is 3. And we can have four terms here as well. One with like 2x, 3x or 5x, any number. Right? But it has the highest power as 3. So the cubic equations have highest power as 3. Now, quadratic equations. We are dealing with quadratic equations and cubic equations in this chapter. So, quadratic equation. The general form for quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Here, a, b, and c, they denote numbers or constants. So, they can be positive or negative numbers or fraction and number. And then highest power, that is the degree here, is 2. So let's have some example. Here we are actually doing what? We are just putting the values of a, b and c, and then we get different forms of different sets of quadratic equations. So like here we have put the values of a, b and c, a as 1, b as -1 and c as -12. So we got x square minus x minus 12 is equal to 0. Then similarly in this equation, second example, we are putting a as 1, b as -10 and c as -25. So we got this example as x square minus 10x minus 25. Now we have another example here, that is 2x square plus x minus 3 is equal to 0, in which we have put the value of a as 2 and then b as 1 and c as -3. So very easy. Moving forward, let's look at what are zeros. So zeros are actually the values of x and y here, and to understand that we are using a polynomial here, that is a quadratic equation, that is x square minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. So the polynomial is denoted by px. Any equation is denoted by px. P for polynomial or x for the variable we are taking in this equation. So px is equal to x square minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now we are just putting hit and try and trying to find out whether this value is the 0 of this equation or not. For that we have taken first case as x is equal to 0, and then we put the value of x as 0 in this px to calculate whether it is equal to 0 or not. We are simply putting the values. So we have put values like 0 square minus 3 into 0 minus 4. So the result we got is -4, which is absolutely not equal to 0. Hence LHS is not equal to RHS. That means this x is equal to 0 is not the solution for the given equation. Similarly, we have taken case 2 here, x is equal to 1. Now again we are putting the values here. So x is equal to 1, that is 1 square minus 3 into 1 minus 4, and then by calculating we got the value as -6, which is again not equal to 0. Hence x is equal to 1 is also not the solution for this equation, because we didn't get any solution. So we are moving forward and taking another cases. So now we have taken case 3, in which we have taken x as -1. Now here we see that we get the solution as 0. So now here we can say that LHS is equal to RHS. So 0 is equal to 0. That is x is equal to -1 is the solution for this given equation. Similarly, we have taken another case here, that is x is equal to 4. Again we got the solution as 0. So this is also the 0 of the given equation. So in these cases we have to continuously hit and try and find out whether this is a solution or not. So it is kind of hectic method, and so we have an alternative called split the middle term, which we will discuss further in this lecture. So by looking at these cases, we can say p as 0 is not the solution, p as 1 is also not the solution, p as -1 is the solution, p x as 4 is the solution for the given equation. So here the zeros of the px is -4 and 1. Sorry, -1 and 4. So the value of x in px at which px is equal to 0 are called the zeros of the polynomial, and for that we denote these zeros by some symbol. Here the symbols used are alpha and beta. So here alpha is -1 and then we have beta, which is equal to 4 for this given equation. Moving forward, let's understand the geometric meaning of zeros. For that we need to understand graph. So in this picture you can see this is a graph with x-axis, that is a horizontal line, and then we have this y-axis, which is the vertical line. So and then we have the point where x and y cut each other, and this point is called origin, that is denoted by 0. And the left side of the right side of x-axis is denoted by positive numbers and are positive, then left side are negative. Similarly, we have on y-axis, the upper side of y-axis are positive and the lower side are negative numbers. Now we are going to use, we are going to plot the values of x and y in the equation, and we'll find out whether the solution or not. So first we will start with linear equation. So we have this linear equation which is denoted by y is equal to ax plus b. So we have taken this example, y is equal to 2x plus 3. So first case, we have put the value of x is equal to 0. So we got the answer of y as 3. Then we have put the value of x is equal to minus 2, and then we got answer as minus 1. So we have plot the table for this, and then here you can see this x is equal to 0, so we get the answer as 3. Then we put x is equal to minus 2 and we got the answer as minus 1. Now we are going to plot this on the graph. So here we have plot this on the graph, 0, 0 and 3 here, and then minus 2 and 1. Now this is a straight line. So always remember, for linear equation we always get the straight line. So it will only intersect the x-axis once. So this is intersecting x-axis at only at once. So it has only 1 0. So the number of times x-axis is intersected by the given equation, the line produced by given equation, are the number of zeros. So here linear equation always forms straight line and intersects x-axis only once. So it has only 1 0. Similarly, for quadratic equation, which is actually denoted by ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, has 2 zeros, which we have already studied further previously, and geometrically it forms a parabola. Like in this picture you can see it is forming a parabola. So the parabola is able to intersect the x-axis twice. So it has 2 zeros. So geometrically also it is showing that it has 2 zeros. Now here are some examples, like that was a upward open parabola, now we have downward open parabola. It is again intersecting twice, so it has 2 zeros. Now we have an example here also, again we got the parabola, but it is not intersecting x-axis even at once, so it has no zeros. Then here we get this. In this you can see that it is able to cut x-axis thrice, so it has 3 zeros. Moving forward in this example, let's count how many zeros are there. So you can see this point 1, then this point 2, then this point 3, then here 4, then 5, and then 6. So it has 6 zeros. So total this figure has 6 zeros. So here we can understand that number of intersections an equation is able to make on the x-axis are the number of zeros. So moving forward, let's understand the relationship between zeros and the coefficient of polynomials. In this, we will be understanding the relationship. So we already know the zeros of the quadratic equation are alpha and beta, and then the relationship is denoted by sum of zeros, which is equal to alpha plus beta, and by formula it is equal to minus b by a. Then we have product of zeros, which is equal to alpha into beta, and by formula it is equal to c by a. While doing questions, we will be calculating alpha and beta, and then we will prove these two things, these two statements for that question. So moving forward, let's have an example. So we are taking this example here, and in this example you can see the equation here is 3x square plus 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. So very first we are going to find out what are a, b and c, and thereafter we will find out the zeros. So let's compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c. So by comparing, we can say that A is actually 3, and then we are comparing bx with 5x, so we got answer as b is equal to 5, and then we have c, which is equal to -2 here. So a is equal to 3, then b is equal to 5, and then we have c as -2. Now to find out the value of zeros, here we are not going to use the previous one method, that hit and try. Here we are going to do this by splitting the middle term. So now we have this equation 3x square plus 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. The very first thing we have to do is we have to multiply this 3 with 2. So what we get answer as 6. Now we have to divide 6 in two parts in such a way that after adding them we get this equation, this number, and multiplying them we get this 3 and 2. So here we have done this 6 and 1. 6 into 1, that is 6, and 6 minus 1, that is 5. Or we could have done like 3x and 2x as well. That could have also be the answer here, because 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, and 3 into 2, that is equal to 6. So when I have done here as 6 and 1. So 3x square plus 6x minus x. So the answer would be 5x, and the multiplication of 6 in x into 1x is equal to 3 into minus 2, that is 6x square minus 6x square. So this is the split of middle term. Now from these two I have taken common here as 3x, because it is present in both the two terms here and here. So the answer becomes x plus 2. Now from this minus x minus 2, again I have taken common, and here I have taken as -1. So I have taken -1 common from x minus x and from -2. So I got the answer as x plus 2, because minus has already been removed. So the equation becomes this 3x minus 1. Again, and this is also done by taking common. Now we have two terms, this term and another term is this. Out of these two terms, we can see x plus 2 is present in both the two terms. So we have taken x plus 2 common. So the remainder thing left out here is 3x minus 1. So now 3x minus 1 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. So we can simply say that 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So by which we have calculated x is equal to 1 by 3 and x is equal to -2. So now we have two zeros, that is alpha is equal to 1 by 3 and beta is equal to -2. And we have already calculated a, b and c earlier. So sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta, and sum of 0 is denoted by this formula minus b by a. So let's look into LHS, that is alpha plus beta. So alpha was 1 by 3 and beta is -2. So by calculating it, we get this answer, 1 by 3 -2, and by taking LCM, we can say 1 minus 6 by 3, that is -5 by 3. And by using this b by a minus b by a, we know b is 5. So minus b is -5, a is 3. Again we are getting same answer, minus b by we get -3 by 5. So LHS is equal to RHS. Similarly, product of zeros. Here again, alpha into beta, that is equal to c by a. Now we have to calculate first LHS, that is alpha into beta. So it is 1 by 3 into -2. So we get the answer as -2 by 3. And minus this is and product of zeros, that is equal to c by a. So here we get minus 2 by 3. From here we can see that C is minus 2, so minus 2 by 3. So this was the relation. We had to prove these relations. So now looking forward, we are going to do some questions. So here we have a question. Find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial x square plus 7x plus 10 and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. So at first what we are going to do, we are going to find out the zeros of this polynomial by using splitting the middle term method. So here, like here, you get only no number is present here, so we can say that it is 1 here. So 1 into 10, that is 10. So now we have to split 10 into ways that in a way that after multiplying we get the answer as 10, and after adding we get the answer as 7. So 10 has two factors, that is 5 and 2. So we are just using that. So 5 and then we have 2. So 5 plus 2, that is 7, and 5 into 2, that is 10. So we got the factors here. So we are putting them like x square plus 5x plus 2x plus 10. So 5x plus 2x, that is 7x. And 5x into 2x is equal to 10x square. Now again, what we are going to do here, from these first two terms we are taking common. Here we only get x as a common term, so we have taken x as a common, and then within the bracket we get the thing here as x plus 5. Now from 2x plus 10 we can take 2 as a common, and then again we get x plus 5 common. Now we have two terms, x plus 5 and then 2x plus 5. In both the two terms we get x plus 5 as the common thing, so again we have taken it as common, so the remainder here is x plus 2. So we got x plus 2 into x plus 5 is equal to 0. So we can say that x plus 2 is equal to 0 and x plus 5 is equal to 0. From that we have calculated the value of x and y. Two values for x, that is minus 2 and minus 5. So we have alpha as minus 2 and beta as minus 5. Now we know alpha and beta. Now we have to find out the relation. So the equation here is x square plus 7x plus 10. Now we are comparing this with ax square plus bx plus c. From that we got the answer here is a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7 and c is equal to 10. Now to find out the relationship, again same formula we are using. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. So alpha plus beta, that is minus 2 plus minus 5. So the resultant answer here is minus 7, or minus b by a is equal to minus 7 by 1. So that is equal to minus 7 only, because if the integer has nothing in denominator, that means it has 1 as denominator. So minus 7 can be written as minus 7 by 1. Similarly, we have product of zeros, that is alpha into beta. So it is minus 2 into minus 5. Because here minus 2 is multiplied by minus 2, we get the positive answer as 10. So it's plus 10. That can be written as 10. Now c by a, because we have c as 10, so 10 by 1, which is also equal to 10. So the relationship is also here is verified. Moving forward, we have another question. Here we got the zeros of the polynomial. Let's see. Find the quadratic polynomial. We have to find out the polynomial, the sum and product of whose zeros are given as minus 3 and 2. So we are given with alpha plus beta is equal to minus 3 and alpha into beta is equal to 2. We know alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and here it is given as minus 3. So we can say minus 3 is equal to minus 1. So we get the value of minus b as equal to minus 3. So the answer here for b is equal to 3. We are just comparing. And then for a, we get 1. Similarly, for product, same thing. Alpha into beta is equal to c by a. and alpha into beta is given to us as 2, which can be written as 2 by 1. So here also we know already A is 1, here also it is given as 1, so we get C as 2. So now the values of A, B and C are 1, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3 and C is equal to 1. Now we have this general form of quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So we have just put the values of a, b and c. So it is like this: x square plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. And if in any question by chance you are given with find out 3 quadratic polynomials with this 0, these zeros and all, then what you have to do, you have to just multiply this whole equation by any integer like -1, like 2, or even you can multiply it by any fraction like 4 by 3. So you will get new equations, and all these equations will have zeros as -3 and 2. Moving forward, now we are looking for cubic equations. Here, cubic equations, first we know the general form of cubic equation. So the general form of cubic equation is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0. Highest power here is 3. And then it has 3 zeros. Earlier we had 2 zeros for quadratic equation, which we were denoting by alpha and beta. Now we have another one more zero, and it is denoted by gamma. So now how to find the zeros of cubic equation? Because for that equation, quadratic equation, we have the method called splitting the middle term. But here we do not have as such method. Here what we have to do, we have to first hit. How we are hitting? Like this: put x is equal to 1. Like we have taken this example here, x cube minus 3x square minus x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now we are putting the x as 1, so left hand side is equal to right hand side, and we get the answer as 0. So x minus 1, x is equal to 1, that is the factor, becomes x minus 1. X minus 1 is the factor of this equation, that is x is equal to 0 is the x is equal to 1 is the 0 of this cubic equation. Now what we have to do, we have to just divide this equation, that px, with x minus 1. So here in this we are dividing x cube minus 3x square minus x plus 3 by x minus 1. So this is divisor here, and the equation px here is dividend. Now we are going to find out the quotient, which will be used to do middle term splitting and to find out the further factors. So now to divide this, we have to do this. Here x should be multiplied by such a number, such a combination of number and variable, that it becomes equal to this number, that is x cube. So x is multiplied by x square, then it becomes x cube. So, and now this x square is multiplied by minus 1. So here we get answer as minus x square. So in this, now we have this x cube minus x square. So now we are adding these two terms, and here the signs are changed. So here here we get negative, and here we get positive. Now x cube minus x cube, same terms with same variable and with same power, so they are eliminated. Now here minus 3x square plus x square, that is equal to minus 2x square. Again same step, now we have to multiply this x minus 1 by such a number that it becomes minus 2x square. So x, to make it x square, we have to multiply it by x, and minus 2, because it has no number here, so we are just multiplying it by minus 2. So we have multiplied x by minus 2x. So here we get answer as minus 2x square, and now this minus 2x is multiplied by minus 1. Minus into minus, that is positive. So we get answer as 2x. Now again we are changing the sign. So after changing the sign, this becomes minus 2x square becomes plus 2x, and here plus 2x becomes minus 2x. So minus 2x is x square is eliminated by minus 2x square, and we got here minus x minus 2x, that is equal to minus 3x. Because here we have only one term, we are taking 3 from top to here down here, so we have this minus 3x plus 3. Now what we have to do, we have to multiply x minus 1 by minus 3 to make it look like minus 3x. So we have multiplied it by minus 3, so we get answer here as minus 3x, and minus 1 into minus 3, that is equal to plus 3. Again we are changing the signs here, and so these two terms are eliminated here. So the factor for this given equation is x minus 1 and then x square minus 2x minus 3. Now here we have to find out the factors further, and for that we are going to do middle term splitting. So now we have this x square minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. First thing, we have to multiply this 3 by this term, so we get only 3 here. Now we have to split 3 in such a way that we get 3 by multiplying them, that is 3 into 1, 3, no other way. So 3 and 1. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, but what we need here is minus 2. So minus 3 plus 1. Then we will get minus 3 plus 1. Then we will get minus 2. So x square minus 3x plus x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now from these two terms we are taking common. Here in these two terms we only get x as a common term. So we have taken x as common. Now the left out things are in the bracket. That is, from this first term we only get x, and from here we get minus 3. Now from these two terms nothing is common. So what we can do, if there is nothing common, then we can take 1 from here, because 1 is the number multiplied to every number. 1 is the factor of every number. So here plus 1 and again in bracket x minus 3. Now we got two terms here, x minus 3 plus 1 x minus 3. Now in these two terms we see that x minus 3 is same. So we are taking x minus 3 as common. So the left out are in this bracket, that is x from first term and 1 from second. Now x minus 3 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So from here we get the answer, that is x is equal to 3 and x is equal to minus 1. So we can say the other two factors are x minus 3 and x plus 1. So the zeros of this cubic equation are alpha is equal to 1, beta is equal to 3, and gamma is equal to minus 1. Now we have to find out the relationship between zeros and coefficient. So here we have three formulas. The first formula is for the sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is equal to minus b by a by formula. So again, like how we did in quadratic equation, we will calculate the zeros and then we will check whether the sum of zeros is equal to minus b by a or not. Similarly, we have another formula, that is sum of the product of zeros taken 2 at a time. So the product of 2 at a time, alpha into beta product, then beta into gamma product, then gamma into alpha product, and the sum of these three is equal to c by a. And the last one is equal to product of zeros, that is alpha into beta into gamma, that is equal to minus d by a. Remember, in every equation, in every formula related to sum, zeros and product, we see that a is in the denominator. Now by example, same example which we have done earlier, because we know the alpha, beta, gamma for these three for this equation. We have already calculated for this equation. Now we are calculating A, B, C, D. So we are just comparing. Here we see A. So here A is equal to 1, B is equal to -3, C is equal to -1 and D is equal to 3. Just compare it with the given form of cubic equation, general form of cubic equation. So now we have alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is equal to minus B by A. So alpha, that is 1 plus 3 plus -1. So -1 is eliminated by 1 and we get the answer as 3. Now minus B by A, B already is here in negative form. So minus 3, that is equal to 3. And then A, we know here is 1. So the answer becomes 3 here, which is equal to this 3. First relation is proved here. Now the second part here is sum of the product of zeros taken 2 at a time. So alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha. Now alpha into beta, that is 1 into 3. So 1 into 3. Then beta into gamma, that is 3 into -1, and then gamma into alpha, that is -1 into 3. So 3 minus 3 -1. So the answer here we get is -1. Now C here is given as -1 and A we know is 1. So here we get C by A, that is equal to -1 by 1, which is equal to -1. So it is also proved here. Now product of zeros. Product of zeros, that is alpha, beta and gamma, that is equal to minus D by A. So -1 into 1 into 3. Product of alpha, beta and gamma, that is equal to -3. And D here is 3. So minus D is equal to -3 and A is 1. So answer is -3. Now further, let's look into another question. Here we are given with 3 zeros. Verify that these 3 zeros are the zeros of this cubic equation and then verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. So the px here is 3x cube minus 5x square minus 11x minus 3. Now case 1, that is here we will take x as 3 and we will put the value of x here in this equation and we'll see whether it is equal to 0 or not. If it is equal to 0, then yes, it is the 0 of this cubic equation. If it is not equal to 0, then no, it is not the 0 of this cubic equation. So here now we are putting the value x as 3. So 3 into 3 cube minus 5 into 3 square minus 11 into 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. Then we get 3 into 27 minus 5 into 9 minus 11 into 3 minus 3. So 3 into 27, which is equal to 81. Then 5 into 9, that is 45. And then 11 into 3, that is 33. And then minus 3. Now these three terms 45, 33 and 3 are in negative. So they can be added. So by adding them we get minus 81 as answer and we already have positive 81. So the answer here becomes 0, which is equal to 0. Hence this x is equal to 3 is the 0 of this cubic equation. Now case 2, in which we will take x as -1. So we are taking x as -1 here and then we will do. So p is equal to -1 here and let's look further. So here we will put the value of x as -1. So 3 into -1 cube minus 5 into -1 square minus 11 into -1 minus 3 is equal to 0. So here again what we are going to find out that it is equal to 0 By calculating further, we will find out that this is equal to 0. So yes, again x is equal to -1 is the 0 of this given polynomial. Now the third case where x is equal to -1 by 3. So we will put the value of x as -1 by 3. So the equation is like this: 3 into -1 by 3x 3 cube minus 5 into -1 by 3 square minus 11 into -1 by 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So it's -1 by 3 cube because it is minus and it's cube, so we get the answer as -1 by 27, which is multiplied by 3. So we can simply cut it and then we will get as -1 by 9. And then second part here, -5 into -1 by 3 square. Squaring of -1 is equal to 1. So we get the answer here, and of 3 is equal to 9. So we get the answer here as -5 by 9. And then the last part, 11 into -1 by 3, and 11 is already negative. So minus into minus will become positive. So here we will get plus 11 by 3, and we already have -3. So by taking LCM, we will again find out that it is also equal to 0. So yes, these three are the factors of this given polynomial. So these three are the zeros of this polynomial px, that is 3x cube minus 5x square minus 11x minus 3. Now we have alpha, we have beta, and we have gamma. What we have to do now, we have to verify the relationship. And to verify the relationship, we have to first find out a, b, c, and d. Now we are just comparing this px with this general form, that is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So by comparing, we can say that ax cube is equal to 3x cube. So the a is equal to 3, and then similarly b is equal to 5 and c is equal to -11 and d is equal to -3. Now to find out the relationship, we have this formula alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is the sum of zeros equal to minus b by a. So sum of zeros, that is 3 plus -1 plus -1 by 3. So 3 minus 1, that is 2. 2 minus 1 by 3. And by taking LCM, we find out that it is equal to 5 by 3. And by putting the value in this formula, that is minus b by a, b is -5 and a is 3. Again we get 5 by 3. Now the second part, here sum of the product of zeros taken two at a time, alpha into beta, beta into gamma, and gamma into alpha, that is equal to c by a. Now we have to prove this. For that again we are doing same, alpha into beta, that is 3 into -1, then beta into gamma, and then gamma into alpha. So we get this. The answer here we get as -11 by 3, and c by a by formula is equal to -11 by 3. So again we are proving that alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha is equal to c by a. And the third part here, product of zeros, that is equal to alpha into beta into gamma. So 3 into -1 into -1 by 3. So this is also equal to 1. And here by formula it is equal to minus d by a. And d is already negative in this question, which is -3. As you can see here, it is -3. And so d becomes here as -3 by 3. So we have 1 again. So product of zeros, that is alpha into beta into gamma, is equal to minus d by a. Hence proved. Hence proved. Now We have division algorithm for polynomials. Just like how we divide numbers, we are going to divide polynomials. And same as numbers, we have this equation here. This is called division algorithm, that is dividend. The number which we divide is equal to divisor into quotient in plus remainder. Divisor, the number by which we divide, and quotient, the quotient we get, and remainder if we get any remainder. So by in the form of algorithm, we can write it like this: px is equal to gx into qx plus rx. Rx here is remainder, qx here is quotient, gx here is divisor, and px here is dividend or the polynomial which we are taking. So let's begin. So just like how we divide normal number, like here we are taking divide 120 by 9, we are going to do same like that. So here 120 is dividend and divisor is 9, so we are dividing 9 by 120. Sorry, we are dividing 120 by 9, so 9 ones are 9, so we get 3 as the remainder, and we have taken 0 from top to bottom, so it's 30. 9 threes are 27, so we get remainder as 3, and we have this quotient as 13. Now if you want dividend again, so what we can do, like 13, this 13 is multiplied by 3, sorry, this 9, 13 into 9, that is 117, and remainder is added, which is equal to 3. So we get the answer as 120, which is equal to dividend. So same like this, how we used to do in numbers, we are going to do the same in polynomials. So let's begin. So here is a question: divide this polynomial 3x square minus x cube minus 3x plus 5 by x minus 1 minus x square, and then verify the division algorithm. When we are talking about verify the division algorithm, we have to show this, like how I have multiplied this divisor with quotient and then added remainder in it to get the dividend. So here we will do, like px is given as this 3x square minus x cube minus 3x plus 5. So first we will rearrange it. How are we rearranging it? We are rearranging based on their power in descending order. So highest power, the first place, then we are descending as per the power. So for both px and gx, so we got the result as minus x cube plus 3x square minus 3x plus 5, and here x square minus x square plus x minus 1. Now as we have already done in previous slides division, just like that we are going to do here. Now we have to make this x square like this. So we are going to multiply x square by x, then only we can get minus x cube. So we have multiplied by x, so we got minus x cube. Now this x is multiplied by this x, so this is x square, and then by minus 1, so it's minus x. Now adding these three terms, and we have done this sign change at each place. So this x cube is eliminated by this x cube, and 3x square minus x square, which is equal to 2x square, and then minus 3x plus x, that is minus 2x. Now we have to make this minus x square as 2x square. So we are multiplying it by minus 2. So we multiplied it by minus 2. So it becomes minus plus 2x square, and then x is multiplied by minus 2, so it becomes minus 2x, and then minus 1 is multiplied by minus 2, so it becomes 2. Again sign change, like plus 2x square is equal to minus 2x square now, and then this is minus 2x, and then this is minus 2. So this 2x square is eliminated by 2x square. 2x is eliminated by 2x now, and we are left with 5 minus 2, that is 3. So remainder here is 3, and question here is x minus 2. So qx here is x minus 2, rx here is 3, and we already have gx as this and px is this. Now what we have to do, gx into qx plus r is equal to px. So let's see. So RHS we have this is equal to gx into qx plus r. So gx x square plus x minus 1 into x minus 2 plus 3. So now we are multiplying this term by this term. So first this x is multiplied by this whole term. So let's see what we get. X into minus x square, that is equal to minus x cube. X into x, that is x square. X into minus 1, that is minus x. Now minus 2 is multiplied by whole equation. So we get minus 2 into minus 2x minus x square. So we get plus 2x square. Then we have this minus 2 into x. So minus 2x and then minus 2 into 1, that is plus 2, because minus 2 is negative and minus 1 is also negative. So 2 plus 3, that is 5. Then minus x cube as it is. Then x square plus 2x square, that is 3x square, and then minus x plus minus 2x, that is equal to minus 3x. And this is actually what we have seen. This is same as px. So hence LHS is equal to RHS. So we have proved, or we have verified division algorithm for this question. Now we have another question here. Find all the zeros of this equation if you have two zeros. Here the two zeros are root 2 and minus root 2. And we have this polynomial. This polynomial is not a cubic equation because it has 4 as degree, or highest power is 4 here. So the first two here we get minus root 2 and minus root 2. So the factors of this equation are x minus root 2, x plus root 2. To get the gx, we are just multiplying these two factors. So we have multiplied these two factors, x minus root 2 into x plus root 2, which is equal to, by we have this identity which we have used in previous classes like in 9th or 8th. A plus b multiplied by a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So here x is a and root 2 is b. So we get x square minus root 2 square. So the answer here becomes x square minus 2. So we have this gx. Now what we are going to do? We are going to, because this is the factor, while dividing we will not get any remainder here. So we will divide this px with this gx. So this px is divided by x square minus 2. Let's see. Here we are dividing this polynomial with power 4, 2x raised to the power 4 minus 3x cube minus 3x square plus 6x minus 2 by x square minus 2. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to multiply this x square by such a number that it becomes this 2x raised to the power 4. So we are multiplying it by 2x square. X square is multiplied by x square, then it becomes x raised to the power 4. And here we need number 2. So we have multiplied by 2x raised to the power 4 to get this x raised to the power 4. So here we get this. Now 2x square is multiplied by minus 2. Minus 2 into 2, that is 4. So minus 4x square, we got this. Because here we did not get any term with x cube. So we are not putting any value here and directly going to the number with x square. So here now we have this. Now by changing the sign, on both the two terms. Here it becomes minus 2x raised to the power 4, and here it becomes plus 4x square. So this is eliminated, and about this minus 3x square plus 4x square, the result is x square. Now moving forward, we have this 3x cube minus 3x cube left out. So what we are going to do, we are taking it down. So now we have this minus 3x cube here, and then we have taken this 6x also here. Now we are multiplying this x square by such a number that it becomes minus 3x cube. So by minus 3x, we have multiplied x square. So we get as this minus 3x cube. And when we multiply minus 2 by minus 3x, we get plus 6x. Again, sign change. And after changing sign, we see that this is also eliminated, and then this is also eliminated. So we are left with this x square here. So we have taken it down here, x square, and now this minus 2 from top here. So we get x square minus 2, and this is actually equal to the divisor x square minus 2. So we need not to multiply it by anything. So what we are going to do, we are just multiplying it by 1. So plus 1. So we got the same number here. Now by changing the sign, we are eliminating these two. So no remainder, 0. So here there is no remainder. So qx here we got qx, that is quotient we got here is 2x square minus 3x plus 1. Because it is a quadratic equation, we need to find out the factors here. And we will do that by splitting the middle term. So we are splitting the middle term here, 2x square minus 3x plus 1, which, so the first step is multiply this 2 by this 1. So we got 2. Now the factors for 2 are 2 and 1. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, and 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, and 2 into 1 is equal to 1. So what we have to do, we have to check that both these two terms like 2 and 1 should have same sign. So here we are taking it, because it was minus 3x, so we are taking minus 2x and minus x. So 2x square minus 2x minus x plus 1. This is the polynomial, and we have split the middle term. Now from these first two terms, we are taking common, that is 2x. We have taken 2x as common. From this first term, we get x as remainder, and from second term, nothing left, so 1. So x minus 1. And from last two numbers, we do not get anything common, so we are taking minus 1 as common. So we get x minus 1 as answer. Now there are two terms left now, 2x, x minus 1, minus 1, x minus 1. And in these two terms, we see that x minus 1 is common. So we have taken x minus 1 common. Now we are left with 2x minus 1. So we got two factors here which are equal to 0. So by this we calculated that x is equal to 1 by 2 and x is equal to 1. So the other two zeros of this polynomial are 1 by 2 and 2. And earlier two zeros were root 2 and minus root 2. So that's it. This is all about polynomials. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe this channel. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations, then feel free to add in the comment section or drop an email.